Hey everyone, welcome to your Cancer Full Moon Workshop. I looked at the clock right when I clicked record and it is 11:11 a.m. So I feel like that is a very good omen for this full moon. And of course, with the full moon in the sign of Cancer, Cancer is ruled by the moon. So having a full moon in the sign that it governs is adding a little bit of extra goodness, especially given that the moon is in strong aspect to Jupiter, which we will get to. But to go back to fundamentals, remember that Cancer is a cardinal sign. It is a cardinal water sign. So the initiation of something to do with the element of water. So this could be care, this could be nurturing, this could be relationships, this could be intuition. But just really, the thing that kept coming to my mind when I was preparing for this was closed mouths don't get fed, right? I recently, when I was in California, I stayed with a friend for a couple of days and they have a new baby. It's a gorgeous, beautiful baby, has a lot of strong Venusian influence. So I kept calling them Aphrodite's favorite. And when that baby cried, the mother knew exactly what to do when it was tired. It would be very apparent that it needed rest. When it was hungry, it would scream and it would want some food, or it would just like make the noise of being like, I'm hungry. And somewhere along the way, we get conditioned to maybe not let our feelings known, or we have different experiences happen where it feels like it's not safe for us to reach out for support or nurturing. But think of it like this. Like imagine you went to your favorite restaurant and it was closed for a private function. You're like, oh, that's really annoying, but we can find a different restaurant. And then imagine every single time in the future you wanted to go to that favorite restaurant, but there was a fear that it was going to be closed. It's like, no, if we make the trip all the way downtown to go to that restaurant, it's going to be closed. And your friends are like, no, it was just closed that one time for a private event. It's fine. It's like, no, like, I just don't feel like I can trust that it's going to be open. Your friends like, it was just one time. I literally just Googled them. It's going to be okay. It's like, no, no, no. Would that make sense? Just because one time you didn't get what you wanted, or one time you had a negative experience, that you now then have a full belief that you can't go back to that favorite restaurant of yours and get a beautiful experience, a beautiful meal, whatever that is. And you might be watching this and saying, no, that's silly. I would never do that. But oftentimes we do based on an experience that we had when we were much, much younger, where we didn't get what we wanted or what we needed from a parental figure, an authority figure, from a loved one, whatever that may be. And instead of choosing to believe that in this example that the restaurant, of course, will be opened, it'll be there, it'll be an amazing time, we're choosing to lean on that old, outdated fear that the restaurant's not going to be open, that we're not going to receive love, that we're not going to receive the promotion, the job, the opportunity, whatever it is that you're wanting right now. But this full moon is an opportunity to highlight that and to see where you need nurturing, where you need support, where you can proverbially open your mouth and receive the food, the love, whatever you're wanting moving forward, and seeing what's holding you back. Because if we look at the chart here, so we have the Cancer full moon on Tuesday, December 26th, 4:33 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So this might be the 27th for some of you, depending on your time zones. But we can see that the moon in Cancer is making this really nice sextile to Jupiter, which is amazing because Jupiter is exalted in Cancer, the moon is exalted in Taurus. So this might be an energy where you're feeling very nurtured, supported during this full moon. You're like, oh, actually, this is what I want. Like maybe you're going back home to visit family and friends and you connect with one of your closest friends, a childhood friend. You're like, oh, right. Like this is what it feels like to have someone really listen to me, really take me in, really want to know what's been going on this past year. This is what I want moving forward, whether to maintain that relationship with that friend or that energy, that feeling. You're like, this is the new minimum that I am cultivating moving forward. And it is a very wide trine. However, the moon, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday even, is going to be making this aspect to Venus. So during this lunation, we have the moon in aspect to both benefic planets. Now, we do have Mercury retrograde, which is nothing to fear, but it is making this square to Neptune, which is what I was referencing in terms of what are these old stories? What are these illusions? And of course, with Neptune, it does represent dreams, fantasies, but also illusions, things that aren't real, things that can cause us to dissolve boundaries. And so if you have not watched the movie Leave the World Behind, it's a new movie that came on Netflix. It really does speak to a lot of themes of how technology acts as a distraction. Without technology, humans are pooped, to say the least. It's a really good movie. And at first, I was really annoyed at how slow it was going. It did not help that I watched that movie under a Aries moon transit. But there's a lot of symbolism and there's a lot of energy too around how we treat others, how we treat ourselves, and what it means to connect in times where we don't know what the future is going to hold. And realistically, we don't actually know what the future is ever going to hold. So if we have, especially in that movie, Julia Roberts' character is painted in a very sardonic, cold way and how she looks at humanity. And it's interesting, again, if we're coming back to beliefs around people and the type of love and support we can receive from those people, what is your base belief? I'm very vocal on my content. One of my base beliefs is everyone loves me and everyone wants to support me, which is true. Whether I'm doing errands at the gym, with clients, with relationships, I'm like, everyone loves me. Everyone wants to support me. And that is my experience because that is my belief. Remember, if we're looking at this Mercury Neptune square, it's an opportunity for you to reevaluate your mind. And some of you also might be, I'm hearing this a lot from friends and clients at the time of me recording this, which is leading up to this. But a lot of people are getting sick. A lot of people are burnt out. A lot of people are exhausted. And if they're trapped in their head, once we have this Mercury Mars conjunction making a square to Neptune, it might be very easy for you just to spin out and to go back to old beliefs, old fears, old addictions, old lovers. So this is just something to be mindful of, in that if you feel like the work isn't working, go back to basics. What do you need to feel loved? What do you need to feel supported? I'll give a personal example. So when I came back from California recently, I was like, all right, I feel so inspired. I'm going to do all these things, and then had some stuff happen, got an eye infection, all these things. It was not cute. But for me, it allowed me to slow way down. I got a lot of sleep because there was a lot of integration that took place after that trip. And for me, I was like, oh, I just like playing video games. Like, I've always loved playing my strategic or tactile video games or like RPGs. And even still, sometimes I'm like, this isn't a proper use of my time, or I could be doing other things, or I should be doing this. I should be doing, like, what is more important than me feeling good, especially if I'm in a place where my body just needs to rest. I'm like, if I can feel good, I'm in a state of receiving health and love and joy and pleasure through this 1 hour activity, maybe 2 hours. Why is that bad? We judge ourselves and judge others so many times throughout the day. Instead, if we replace that judgment with love, hello, Cancerian energy, how much better the world would be. Even just starting with yourself first and saying, this is what I want and this is what I need. This is what I want. This is what I need. If you're so confident on that and don't have any guilt or shame around that, then you will start to voice that with the people around you. You will start to expect these things. Because here's another analogy. Let's say God, source, universe, whomever, they're like, here's a check. Here's a check for $10,000. And you're like, no, I don't want it. Like, are you sure? Like, all you have to do is sign this check and you'll receive $10,000. It's yours. You have to do anything for it. It's like, no, I don't trust you. There's probably some hidden fee. There's some catch. I'm not going to take this. Like, last chance. Here's $10,000. You're like, no. Like, all right, well, let's go to the next person, see if they want $10,000. When this happens in our lives, whether it is a download to apply for a different job, a download to move to a new city, a download to leave a relationship that's no longer aligned, these are all ways of the universe trying to get your attention to say, I'm trying to give you what you want. You have been praying, you've been asking, you've been complaining, you've been screaming from the rooftops that you want this thing. And I'm telling you, all you have to do is this: sign the check, apply for that job, move to that city, leave that unaligned relationship. Then the fear is, what if it doesn't work? What if this? I can't afford that. Every time you come up with an excuse to not have what you want and what you need, it's like you're saying no to the universe giving you a $10,000 check. Everyone wants to help you. Your spirit teams, your guardians, God, source, universe, they love you so much. They just want to support you. help them help you. And this full moon, I feel like really encapsulates that. For some of you, it will be with that moon Jupiter sextile. It's like, yes, this generosity, this beneficence, this hope, this renewal. Please rest during the holidays. Like, I know that seems very obvious, but I've been talking to a lot of clients, a lot of friends, or like I said, they are saying that there's like work to do. I want to get ahead. I want to be prepared for 2024. Let's say everything was mapped out beautifully. If you already knew everything was going to happen amazing in 2024, but you're so exhausted, you're sick, you're run down. How is that benefiting you? If you know 100% guaranteed that this upcoming year is going to be the best you've experienced, that there's going to be amazing blessings and opportunities and expansion, and all you have to do is rest, all you have to do is make sure that you're taken care of, how would you approach your life? How would you shift things moving forward? These are just easy things for you to keep in mind with this Cancer full moon to ensure that whatever is not serving you around support, especially supporting yourselves, because if we can't take care of ourselves, how are you really going to be able to take care of anyone else? If you're always sick and run down, you're trying to run a business, trying to take care of your family, that doesn't even make any sense. But if we don't tell people that it's like, hey, I just need a couple of days to rest, I'll get back to this. Hey, I'm taking a few days off to spend time with my loved ones, I'll get back to you. You need to use your words as well, because I keep coming back to that Mercury retrograde conjunct Mars, square Neptune during this lunation. There's something that isn't working. And even just to go back to this chart one more time, remember, retrogrades are a time to slow down and process, to renew. And this is also an energy too with retrogrades that for any of you who have indulged in like TV shows or movies where the main character is doing time travel, and there's always that warning, like, don't mess anything up. Like, it's just for an opportunity for you to learn, to gain a greater perspective. So when you go back, or then there's the TV shows and movies where you get to redo the day over and over and over again to defeat an evil force, or to be like, okay, I need to fix something here so we don't go back to a world that is not doing too great. That's what I often feel like, especially with Mercury retrogrades, is that it's a chance for you to do it over. It's a chance for you to have a different mindset. It's a chance for you to have that conversation. It's a chance for you to come back and do something that you haven't done yet. So if this means that you have to have conversations that are going to bring you greater peace or to bring you closer to your dreams, this is a time to have those conversations. And guess what? These conversations, even if they seem scary or you're in your head about them, they're going to lead to support. And I guarantee there's at least one conversation that many of you are wanting or needing to have with someone, whether it's personal or professional. And maybe you don't have that conversation on the 26th of December, but maybe you're planning for it. Maybe you're preparing for it. So you know when you do have an opportunity to have that talk, that you initiate it. Or maybe you're going to have it before the new year and say, hey, like this is the 26th, 27th, 20th, 29th, 30th. There are ample times for me to move forward, to gain the clarity and to gain the support that I need. And even if we're talking about Cancer energy, there's always strong links to motherhood, parental, caregiving energy, also our body, the home, our emotions, emotional intelligence. Like these all encapsulate energies that are governed by the moon, but also naturally very much linked in with Cancer and Cancerian energy. So I want you also, and this will be the homework that I have listed in the description of this video. Of course, the homework is not mandatory, but I think it would do everyone good, to say the least, is that you're evaluating these themes. You're evaluating your home. You're evaluating your body. You're evaluating what you nurture and what nurtures you in return to see if they're aligned. Like, if you follow my content, you know that I love clothes and I love fashion. And for me, when you travel, when you are wearing certain clothes, when you go on certain trips or for certain events, they make you feel something. Even just certain colors are going to make you feel a certain type of way. You're like, no, that color is not my color wheel. Yes, I'm obsessed with that color. When you put that color on, or when you put that garment on, you likely feel something. If you want to feel a certain frequency and you put that outfit on, you feel that. It's such an instant way to put yourself in alignment every single time. If you want to be comfortable after a day's work and you put on comfortable clothes, you're eliciting an energy to be comfortable, to receive rest and ease versus what you were wearing before. If you want to wear something sexy to elicit the root chakra or the sacral chakra, then you're like, I want to wear this. Again, it's kind of once you know, you know. Where I'm going with this is if you're still holding on to clothes from a version of yourself that reminds you that you are struggling with money, or clothes that you wore when you would go on dates with an ex-partner, and these clothes are in your closet, in your home, you're still holding on to this energy. It's like, why? If these clothes still have good memories, you can consider keeping them. But many people I talk to, like, I just want to reach this level. I want to get to this pay grade. I want to get to this type of partnership. I want this. I want this. Well, starters, does your closet reflect that? Are you wearing clothes that emulate that energy? I personally will buy a piece or two of clothing every month to elicit a new energy, to be inspired, to tap into a new frequency. And there, of course, there are legacy items that stay in the closet. But I would encourage all of you as well to go through them being like, what clothes, one, just no longer fit, or no longer energetically aligned, have holes, whatever that may be, because these are what you're putting on your body. You're sending a signal to your body saying, this is what I'm worth, or this is how I get to feel by wearing these clothes. You can also have bougie clothes that are meant for lounging. One of my pajama set, or like loungy home, it's just a piece of toast. It says warm and toasty, and then the shorts have just like pieces of toast with little hands. I just think it's really funny, and I don't even eat bread because I can't eat gluten, and I know there's gluten-free bread, but I just like, it makes me smile every single time. I was like, yes, these clothes like make me happy. And I don't mean to belabor the point, but I think sometimes we overcomplicate things in our life when there are things all around us that can bring us joy, that can make us feel happy, that can support us. And I mean, what we put on our back is supporting us, to keeping us safe, warm, protected. Like, clothes are a very big part of this. Your relationships are a very big part of this. Where you live is a very big part of, like, the environment in which you're in has a direct correlation on how you view the world, how you view success. If you are around friends that always make you feel less than, they're always like making you the butt of every joke, they're always like not celebrating you, they don't make you feel special, versus people that look at you, they see you, they want to be around you, they want to take what you say very seriously, who would you want to be around? So if you're in a family dynamic, if you're in a home, if you're in a city that you don't feel supported, you don't feel seen, is that the right choice? When a move is very simple, one piece of advice I got from my father, which was very wise, that I always kept with me when I was deciding whether or not I should move to Toronto from Vancouver the first time, he said, if it doesn't work, you already know how to survive in Vancouver. You already know how to be successful. If it doesn't work, you just move back, which is very obvious. But I think a lot of times if we're considering a move, the fear is, if it doesn't work, what do we do? You just move back. Planes go both ways. Yes, will be a hassle. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe it'll be even easier. Maybe it'll be more aligned. The fear holding you back, though, is always going to be there unless you can look at it, embrace, and say, it's going to be okay. We're going to be fine. We're going to be supported. We're going to be loved. Replace, move, home, move, job, move, relationship. Remember, this is cardinal water. Initiating something, or the initiation of letting go of something, given this is a full moon. But I really want you to see where your emotions are really highly charged right now, and if there is an opportunity to change. If it's changing yourself and your body, changing your home, changing your relationships, or changing the type of nurturing and support that you're receiving, these are all really important things in and around this Cancer full moon. So I just keep seeing a garden, like there's a young woman and she's watering the garden. There's nothing even sprouted yet, but she's so content. She's wearing this like it looks like a dress with a whole bunch of daisies on the dress and this giant sun hat. She's just so happy. And she's not even worried that there's nothing in the garden yet. And she's like, I know if I keep doing this, I'll keep watering the garden, I'm going to be supported, that the garden is going to grow. And she's also enjoying herself. Like, she's wearing this beautiful dress. She's in the sun. There's kind of like all these animals around her, like a squirrel, hummingbird, a dragonfly. Dragonfly is like right here. She's like, there's love all around me. I'm literally standing on abundance, and there's all these amazing synchronicities around me. So she's just totally at peace with what she's doing. And there's no humans around her, but she knows, she's like, oh, I can't wait until this harvest is bountiful for me to share this abundance and prosperity with other people. So for some of you, if you are in that stage right now where you're doing all the work, you're tending to the garden, you know that there's going to be this amazing feast or this amazing celebration to happen in a very short period of time. Keep doing what you're doing. And can you shift your perspective that even if there's nothing to show, again, to show, like if someone walked by and they're like, oh, the garden's not doing too well, there's nothing sprouted yet. You don't have that belief. Even if you don't have anything yet, it's like, no, you already know deep down that you're going to be supported. Maybe you always plant a garden and it always sprouts. No matter what, you know there's going to be a harvest. If you do the work, you've done the work in the past, you know it always comes forward full circle. So these are just things I want you to be mindful of. And yeah, she's getting excited. She's even thinking about like the pasta sauce, like the tomato sauce she's going to make, and like this kind of like dill carrot thing. I don't know if carrots or dill are important for some of you. That's coming through in terms of like nourishment or nurturing, but she's already getting excited. Like she doesn't even have any doubt that the food's going to come up. She's already preparing the recipes and getting excited and like kind of like drooling, like salivating on how good it's going to get. And that's part of the manifestation process too. It's like there's no doubt. It's only excitement for what's about to come. Like if you book a trip and you have the hotels and you have the ticket for the plane and you know that you're going to be going on all these amazing shows and excursions, you don't doubt it. Even if the plane was delayed, it wouldn't matter. You'd still get to the hotel. You'd still have the excursions. Like there's no doubt there. You're not gonna be like, oh no, the trip's not going to happen. I have nothing to show for it yet. It's like, no, like you have everything scheduled. Everything's lined up. You know it's going to work. It's going to work. I think that's a big energy with this. And if you feel like it's not going to work, then where is that coming from? Where is that fear or doubt coming from? That's something as well that you can address during this full moon and then release as well. It's like I'm letting go of this antiquated old fear from the past. I'm now replacing it with blank. There's also this energy too, because there's this energy of like I can feel like my tongue almost like it's like salivating or getting excited to eat. Just noting where you want food, what food means to you, or being present and aware when you're eating. These are all things as well, especially during the holidays, where it's like, are these things that you're being mindful of and conscious of? And what does food mean to you? What's your relationship to food? Do you eat when you're hungry? Do you eat when you're stressed? Do you not eat when you are feeling a certain type of way about position in life? Do you eat more when you are stressed about money or less? Like, I just want you to feel into the notion of food around this full moon and seeing, and I mean, I even started off by saying closed mouths don't get fed. But where do you deny nurturing to yourself, or where do you overindulge in that at different parts of your life just to see that relationship? Because again, with food, it's a direct relationship to nourishment, right? It's the very food that fuels us. And there's a lot of studies that talk about overindulging, underindulging in food can be a direct link with the mother, with not getting support or feeling like we were hovered over. So there's that connection as well. So there might be wounding that's coming up to the surface in relation to food with how we were cared for or nurtured for by a caregiver, a mother, a father, whomever that might be. So just being aware of that. If you feel like you're eating more or less during the holidays, just to sit with that and say, where is this coming from? And one thing that was coming through as well, try and disconnect from the phones, from the screens, and feel. Cancer is a water sign. We want to feel what's coming up without numbing ourselves or distracting ourselves, to then understand what this feeling is, so then we can express that. Okay. So the cards that I pulled, we have the Six of Swords, the Fool, and the Ace of Pentacles. So it's something where there might be a delay, or there might be a direction that you want to go where it's like, I can't keep going in that direction. Or there might be fear of, what if this doesn't work? But there's a new chapter. I mean, hello, we're moving into a new calendar year. There's something new coming through. So even if it's not happening yet in this moment, there's new opportunity everywhere. I mean, did we not just talk about this? The universe, God is like, here, do you want $10,000? We literally just said this. We just said it. What, 10, 15 minutes ago? It's like there is this opportunity. It doesn't have to be physical cash, but it's likely to bring an opportunity to you. There's a new start. So some of you are doing things that it's not meant to go forward. It's like you can't keep going in this direction. Like that boat is not meant for you. You're not meant to go there. Like stop pushing on something or someone that's not working. There's literally this new opportunity that's right in front of you. It's like here, it's right here. But if you keep going back to an antiquated fear belief of what about this, what about this, what about this, every single time it's like the boat literally has a hole. That belief system is not working. Why do you keep trying to get in that boat when there's literally a yacht with money and all of your loved ones waiting for you right there? It's right there. That's the belief system. That's the job. That's the move. That's whatever it is. And for some of you, might just mean that there is a delay where it's like, it's okay. That's not happening right this second. But for some of you, you're trying to get into a boat that has a hole in it. And then you're wondering why you're not moving. Sometimes the tarot slaps. It's like, you're just like, okay. And I mean, it's kind of telling that I gave that analogy and we literally have that right here. It's like, let God, source, universe feed you. Let them support you. Let them shower you with abundance and prosperity. Let them help you. Let them help you. Let people support you. Let others come forward and give you the love and support that you need, and leave the boats with the holes behind. All right. So that's all I got for today. I'll put some questions in the description of this video for homework because I think that's really important right now. And if you want to go back to a meditation, that full moon meditation that I have in the Sagittarius new moon workshop is a vibe. So you can always go back to that one. But I think the homework here and really getting clear on what needs to happen and sitting with that is very poignant, especially right now with Mercury being retrograde, that Mercury-Neptune square. We need to be able to write these things pen to paper to understand how we're feeling. And even like for some of you, I was saying that there might be a conversation that you want to have with someone from the either personal or professional sector. Even it could be a letter to God, to source, to universe, saying that you're frustrated, saying what's going on. Like I've done that too, right? Like literally will write questions to God's source and being like, why is this happening? Like, why am I doing this? Or like, please help me. And then I'll have that message kind of come through. It's a very powerful and intense experience, but I think that can also be sometimes where that Mercury square Neptune can come through very strongly, where it can sometimes with Neptune, it's this otherworldly energy. It's really connected to faith in my experience, in a higher power or like intuition, romance, all these things you can't really explain. And you don't need to overthink this. You can literally just like take time, sans screens, no computer, no tablets, no phones, and just write how you're feeling. Or if you want to have that conversation with God, source, universe, you can also have it with your spirit guides, with your higher self, and say, this is how I'm currently feeling. This is what I'm wanting. Or you can be as upset or frustrated as you want, but just taking that time to be present, to use air magic, your thoughts, and earth magic, the paper, it can be a very, very great resource. All right. So I'm wishing you all a fabulous Cancer full moon, a wonderful rest of your holidays, a restful holidays, a screen-free detox, and I shall talk to you soon. If you have any questions, ponderings, musings, breakthroughs, feel free to share them in the comments below. All right. Bye for now.